President Obama, our imperial, emperor-like, pseudo-czar, god figure from possibly Kenya who walks among us, has once again taken his pen in hand. Well, he's decided that it's too big a burden on millions of Americans for their employers to have to comply with the health care bill. You know, his landmark legislation that he signed into law. There are over 7 million Americans who are employed by companies that have between 50 and 99 employees, all right? About 7% of the workforce. And President Obama realized that these companies are starting to cut people's hours. The companies don't have to provide health care for these employees if they are not full-time. So they're cutting back to 35 hours a week. So now these folks aren't getting health care, or they're losing their health care, and they're losing hours, so their paycheck is getting smaller, all because Obamacare, the Affordable Health Care Act, is crippling American businesses, or hobbling, certainly harming American insurance companies. Well, guess what? I've got a question. Does anybody think that President Obama actually read the bill? I mean, I know now that he's got areas that are being brought to his attention, and he's using his pen to make the corrections. But what thinking person believes that President Obama actually read the bill before he signed it? I'm just asking. You may remember that prior to the passage of Obamacare, Nancy Pelosi admitted that she hadn't read it and encouraged members of Congress to vote for it without reading it. Here's what she said.
But we have to pass the bill so that you can find out what is in it.
So we've got President Obama acting like an emperor, a czar, a pseudo-dictator, just literally outside of the rule of law, striking down portions, saying you don't have to comply for a year, no, 2 years. You don't have to comply for 2 years. Just taking the law in his own hands, like kind of the Wild West sheriff gone bad. You've got Nancy Pelosi saying, we don't even know what's in the bill, but we want you to vote for it anyway. And in case you think this is odd, let's play a clip from Representative Conyers, a far left socialist Democrat who was at the National Press Club and was asked about the health care bill before he voted for it. Here's what he said.
I love these members that get up and say, read the bill. What good is reading the bill if it's 1,000 pages and you don't have 2 days and 2 lawyers to find out what it means after you read the bill?
So we've got President Obama saying, change the law. We've got Conyers saying, what's the use in reading it? Unless you've got 2 days and 2 lawyers to understand it. Wait a minute, excuse me. You voted for something that you said you couldn't even understand. Something that is literally affecting the lives of tens of millions of Americans. And you're admitting to us that you didn't read it, but you voted for it? Well, I have a suggestion for President Obama. Here, it's just a small idea. President Obama, why don't you, rather than just exempt these businesses, why don't you exempt the millions of Americans who have individual health care policies who are now being told your insurance is canceled. You don't have insurance anymore. They're being run through the ringer. There's an idea. I'm just saying. He won't do that, by the way. He won't do it. Let me make a couple of comments, because the healthcare debacle is not going to go away until and unless. Ready? Number one. We find out who wrote it, hold them accountable. No, that's not going to happen. Number two, we have to fear that maybe what Obama wanted all along was that this bill would cause the collapse, the ultimate collapse of a cohesive healthcare system in America. Why? So that the government can come and save us. Ultimately, what socialists want is a single-payer system where the government puts a gun to everyone's head and says, you're going to pay for your neighbor's health care. No, you're going to pay for this child's health care over here. And no, we deem you as too old and too frail to warrant health care, so you get to die. Listen to me. In the final analysis, this bill is with us, and the slow and steady demise of America's quality health care is with us until, number one, we elect a Congress and a president who repeals Obamacare, completely repeals it. And number two, and this one's going to be tougher, we admit that we don't have a right to our neighbor's money to pay for our health care. Hear me, listen to me. We have to admit that I don't have a right for the government to put a gun to my neighbor's head to force him to pay for my health care. We admit it. Number two, then we embrace it. And number three, then we advocate it, where we say Medicare, Medicaid, all of these ways where the government is forcing people to pay for their neighbor's health care are unconstitutional, that it is a form of socialism and Marxist redistribution of wealth, and it is not what freedom and self-government mean. Let's go back to true charity. Let's go back to hospitals being run by churches, community hospitals where people contribute and donate money, or doctors give free health care to certain people because they need it. In other words, Christian civilization, not a socialist plantation.